This is New Every Day with Jeff Weston and Lawrence Cruz.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to New Every Day. My name is Lawrence Cruz and Jeff Weston, my co-host, is away on business again this week. And I'll tell you what, business is pretty important to that guy. Eh? He's taking another week off. Well, it doesn't matter because we have another very special guest, a new friend to me named James Burgess. Welcome, James.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, and glad to have you as part of the show. Well,
it's great to be here.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why James is on the show is because I'm holding in my hand his book, which is entitled Beyond the Breakers. Now, James, you were kind enough to get a hard copy in my hand, but for those who are watching, if they wanted a copy of this book, can they go to Amazon to get that?
Yeah, they can go on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle for digital download. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Beyond the Breakers, Discovering Your Best Life Beyond Circumstance. Mm-hmm. Wow, man, you must be a smart guy with a big title like that, eh?
I don't know, the book's pretty thin, so...
Why don't you just say, yes, Lawrence, I am.
Yes, Lawrence, I am.
Let's go with that, shall we?
Okay.
James, before we talk about the content of your book, which I very much enjoyed, in my copy, I highlighted much of it. I mentioned to you at one point in the past, I had a friend of mine say to me, you should never highlight more than a third of a page because then you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
Well, I got that idea. So you just highlight, but there were many pages where I was seeking for just a word or a phrase that I would be able to use to help me articulate some of the deep recesses in my own heart. And here I was doing the whole page, and I could hear my friend Wayne saying, Lawrence, this is defeating the purpose. But I don't think it is. What I'm telling you is it was very rich material. And so thank you for writing a well-written book, I'd say.
My pleasure.
Yeah, make it a little bigger, though, would you? Next time the font, my 51-year-old eyes had a hard time. Hey, maybe my ears are going, too.
You should talk to my publisher.
No, that's okay. You do what you want. You're the author. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where's home for you?
Home is Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Alberta.
Just north of Calgary,
okay.
The governing city of Alberta.
Like that other guy, Ken Gill.
Yeah, we're good friends. So.
Oh, that's great. How about the Stampede in Calgary? Have you ever been to that?
I have.
Yeah, sounds like he's pretty cranked up about that.
Well, Edmonton is very focused on its sports teams. Everybody understands Edmonton Oilers, Wayne Gretzky, City of Champions, but they're very festival oriented in the summertime. Yeah. Beautiful river valley areas, and of course they have a lot of pride in Klondike. Yeah. You know, all things Klondike, and you know their Oilers are everything, and Eskimos.
I just want to say yee-haw. Is that fitting right now?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that, eh?
Yeah. No, we've been there for 28 years and raised 2 kids there. And
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're
my
married.
wife and I, Sharon, and my 2 sons, Brandon and Gavin. One's 22, one's 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah, are they living at home still?
No. Well, one is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've recently, won out.
So no young kids hanging around the family.
No.
Right now.
No.
All right.
Not yet.
Whole new chapter in life.
It is. My wife and I discovered last summer that we had a relationship.
Wow. Well,
great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, when they were away all summer long, right? So we were like, hey, we can talk about things.
Oh, and that segue, we're going to talk about marriage counseling today. No.
Right.
No, James, we'll talk about this amazing book here, Beyond the Breakers. Now, if I turn it to the back, it's going to make me sound like I really know what I'm doing here. I love Discover Your Best Life Beyond Circumstance. Now, one of the things, the book is about a journey of breaking free. Okay, it's like, okay, now you've piqued my curiosity. It's about the discovery of personal authority and purpose. Mm-hmm. Okay, now there's a lot of people who are asking the question, what am I doing here on earth? Mm-hmm. And what's it all about, Alfie? There's a song like that.
And how are you able to say it in 70 pages?
Yeah, well, you did a good job, you know, and you gave us a compass. Oh, I read the book. A compass to navigate through some of these questions. Now, here's a line, though, that captured me. It is about mastering the lifetime art of exploration. Now, okay, we've got a few minutes to talk about this. Hey, James, can you talk to us about the content of this book? Because I know you put it on on paper, but this is from your heart. So
Yes.
tell me about this book. Like, what is it, or what inspired you to write it, or however you want to start into the conversation?
Well, first of all, I walk in the area of coaching. So I'm not a psychologist. I walk in a way that with people that is all about progress versus perfection. If you think of a 12-inch ruler, this is how, people that are professional coaches live. The 12-inch ruler, the first 2 inches are people that absolutely need professional help and therapy and, really concentrated healing, restorative work in their lives. And then you have the top 2 inches of the ruler, which is people that are very surrounded by a very positive circle of influence. They have good people feeding into their life. So they're very well-rounded, supported in their networks. And then there's the rest of us in the middle. We are the mass middle. And over the years of my coaching, what I've heard the message just over and over again is I'm not sick enough to need therapy.
Right.
But I know I need something more. And so my job as a coach is to explore areas of life, love, liberty, and progress, and push and help people mobilize forward in their life and their preferred futures.
Wow, okay, that's interesting. I was getting a little concerned there that maybe there's going to be a test and I was going to have to know which part of that ruler I was on, but you helped me there. You said for most of us, we're in that, I guess it would be 8 inches, would it be, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
the mass middle.
Hey, I did the math right there, did I? The mass middle.
Yeah, this is where coaches really thrive. They really thrive to help people. They're not assuming brokenness necessarily, but there are many people that they have desires and they either lack the ability or the knowledge of the tactical next steps, or what does a fruitful life look like, and so we're helping to kind of focus the lens so that people can see the life forward in a more clear way. So
okay, you just used this phrase, like, what do I do? Like, what am I supposed to do, but how do I go about it? James, I'm asking, and I'm inclined to think that this is true, but I'm asking you the question. Do you meet with people? Do people call you as part of your clientele, people who say, like, I think I can do this, but I don't know how, or I don't know what the next step is? Because I've met people who I think are fantastic people. I know they are, but they seemingly get stuck. And it seems like a shame to me that good people who've got so much potential would be stuck and their life, it becomes like unrealized potential. Yeah. So is this part of what, is this something that the content, the truth in this book would help these people?
Well, I mean, first of all, let's establish a foundation that this book is full of biblical principle and personal experience. You can't argue with either the truth of either one of those things. And so in our lives of faith, we are called to be fruitful. But sometimes people think that, like the parable in Matthew 25, you have the 5 talent, the master gives one guy 5 talents of money, the other guy 3 talents of money, and the other person 1 talent. Many of us feel in our lives we're comparatively like 1 talent people. And so we feel somehow less comparatively. But that's not the truth. I mean, if you look at a 1 talent person, or you feel like you're like that 1 talent guy, I don't know much, I don't have much, please understand that God has trusted you with that talent. And that is the master saying, I still believe in your capability to be fruitful and multiply. So multiply is not just in babies, it's more like fruitfulness and influence in life. So we take each person seriously. Like God has a purpose for those people, and we need to, not everybody is in the Sunday morning mode where they can receive the typical language and terminology. So I operate very much out there, what I call the neutral zone. It's in the place where people are seeking for God. They're seeking for, as you've mentioned in other videos, fatherhood. They're seeking for that relationship side of faith. They're seeking, well, who believes in me? Yeah. Right? So what I've tried to do with the book as a whole is to use it like a key to unlock the tenderness of people's hearts, and then once they're sort of in that relationship of trust, well, then we start producing tangible results. Feed them first, and then they'll hear every message, through that trust relationship. So if I help you in a tangible reality, maybe we prosper the family, maybe we build a new business, maybe we sort of see relationships patched together or brought together, then people start going, well, what is it that you have that I'm looking for? I want to know more. So that's what I'm seeking to do by way of case study, by way of personal journey experience, and then of course applying those principles to a very foundational compass that I've used for many years. I just brought it together in this book as a sort of an easy pathway.
Okay, this is amazing. I'm enjoying this experience. I think I've found a new pattern in my life. I want to read the book and then contact the author and have a conversation with him or her. Because it's amazing to listen to you and to see your passion about what I was privileged to read.
Yeah.
James, we need to take a break here, but this is fantastic. Thank you so much. There's a couple of questions I want to ask you going forward, but I've read the book and I know the compass plays a big part of how you've presented your material. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Friends, don't go away. We'll be back with author James Burgess. I'll try that again. We'll be back with James Burgess and after a word from our sponsors.
Stick around for more from New Every Day.
For a limited time, get your hands on limited edition shirts from the Category 5 TV network. These high-quality shirts are manufactured by Teespring, a fundraising website, and your purchase will help support the shows we produce. Get yours today and send us your pictures to be featured on the corresponding show. Visit cat5.tv/shirts to support us and get your official network shirt today. cat5.tv/shirts.
Well, hi friends, we're back with author, here it goes, James Burgess of the book Beyond the Breakers. Yeah, just a second. Woohoo! I think I got it, didn't I? I didn't trip over it. We were laughing on break there, how I just couldn't seem to get it out. Beyond the Breakers, Discovering Your Best Life Beyond Circumstance. Fantastic, available on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca for you crazy Canucks out there. That works, and a good read, well worth it. Now I see on the front, I've got this nice design of a compass, or of, is that what we call that? What is that? That's a compass? North, south, east, west, even upside down, I got that.
Yeah.
James, tell us about this compass. It's a great tool, I think, to understanding the content of your book. Can you tell us a little bit or a lot about it?
Yeah, the journey of how the compass came together. In the book, we talk about referring the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks.
Right.
And it's a fantastic example about how many people will fall off their track in life and they get stuck. And the idea beyond the breakers was the frustration that people have getting beyond the how is it I'm trying everything, but I'm still spinning my tires, I'm still here.
Can I add to this?
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of this ocean of nothingness now. It's like, I can't see land anywhere.
Yeah.
Now that's kind of what was in my heart earlier when I was talking about people with so much potential, but where do I go?
Well, a lot of us are navigating life and we don't really have, destinations in mind. We think we want something, or we put a goal out there and we say, my life goal is to pay off my mortgage. But once the mortgage is done, or once you kind of do something, then you're kind of looking, well, now what? And so I'm trying to help break people beyond that to life purpose. So the value of the compass, first of all, let me explain a few minutes here with you, is north is like a North Star built off of that beautiful sort of example of the North Star in the sky, is the one body in the northern hemisphere that does not move. And so in history, when caravans or sailors would get lost, they would always refer back to the North Star. Once they find the North Star, they would eventually find their way home. So a lot of us we have beliefs and values maybe, and so the North Star is the established beliefs and values that we carry. And so what happens when life experience kind of comes in and throws us a monkey wrench? Well, throws us off course, we can actually come back to our values and back to our beliefs and say, does this align with where I really want to be going in life? So we're now able and empowered to make more clear decisions to say, good opportunity, but not the best. Right? So we align our decisions and our track in life with our values and beliefs. And this is typical coaching stuff. But the idea, and making it simple for people, is that, okay, well, so let's not just set out goals, but let's set out, well, what do you believe and why you do it this way? Why do you have these certain ethics in your life and these values? Well, we explore that. So once we do that, we empower the East. And the East is representative of all the people that you surround yourself with. You know, it's funny, somebody mentioned this, that in the sort of expansion days, the colonial days, they come from the east of Europe and they go west. So it's like your community of origins. Who do you surround yourself with that they're not afraid to affirm you, confirm you, believe in you, and challenge you without fear of retribution? So who do you have in your life like that? Right?
Who can basically tell it like it is from their perspective.
And it's a scriptural value that faithful are the wounds of a friend. The one that says, I'm not afraid of you and I care about you enough to tell you a truth, a reflection. Can I help you? And sometimes we don't always enjoy that. But after it's done and we start walking in that sort of pathway, we can sort of get ourselves aligned. And so we feel accepted, we feel loved, we feel cared for, and that builds confidence and courage within us to go south.
Maybe even safe, may I? Because I read it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about community, right? I'm an extrovert. So this is like, okay, I remember East means the people in my life. I'm stronger if there's people who I have that love me,
Right.
believe in me, and also are going to tell me, hey, Lawrence, can we sit down and have a chat? I'd like to give you. That's what I'm reading. Right?
Truth and love, right?
Truth. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another biblical principle. Jesus.
So you can look at this as a personal community, a business community. You want to be very choosy. Now, you know, we do have a compass for personal, compass for business, and a compass for faith walk, right? So we have three different ways of looking at it. So once you understand you have these good people around you, and really who you surround yourself with is really going to determine the kind of quality of life you'll achieve. If you want to be a leader, you find leaders to hang out with. Okay. You want to be a positive person, stop hanging around people that are spitting out negative messages.
Right.
Right? So, you know, and sometimes we can't choose that, you know. Maybe we have family members that are really very, you know, hurting or toxic or something. We can't choose that.
Yeah.
But I think you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
So,
like we didn't get to choose our parents or our brothers and sisters.
I'll leave that for another day.
There you go.
So when you have that...
I'm laughing on the inside.
We come to South, and this is where a lot of people actually find themselves when I'm teaching the compass, they automatically go here. South is representative of your reconciled past. Right? There are many of us that carry severe baggage from our past, experiences, types of trauma, bad memories, and you'll find yourself coming south frequently.
Okay, James, we just awakened just about everybody. Okay, as like I'm preaching to the choir here. Okay, so we're paying attention now. There's somebody watching who says, just a second here. He's talking about some hurts of the past.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you, James.
Yeah.
Okay, so this represents the south on your compass.
Yeah.
And you use the word, it's reconciled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So reconciliation. A lot of us will talk about forgiveness, and forgiveness is a very hard place to reach sometimes. And I respect that in people, because not everybody is ready. They're not ripe in their heart or their spirit to really, you know, come to that place of peace on things. But reconciliation isn't always an eraser of the incident. It is a recognition that the past happened and I cannot change it. I recognize that it's there. But here's where we go one step further, is we recognize it's there, but I am going to now extrapolate the value of my life lessons learned.
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at that a little more objectively and say, look, it still hurts and I'm in process. That's okay. We're all works in process. But I'm going to pull out the value of my life lessons learned. And that's where my wisdom is found helping people today. And that's why I share in the book a lot of personal experiences, because I want you to know that it is possible to find closure. And sometimes God does set things up for you to literally find that closure. close that door. There's an incident there where I have with a school teacher that is just fantastic.
Oh, I remember reading that.
Yeah, and again,
I was there with you when you were walking towards him in the restaurant.
Right.
I could feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, you have only a split second to see the opportunity sometimes, and you have to make that decision.
Right.
But I made the decision to lay it out, and before this teacher that was very hard on me. So sometimes God's going to set up things that'll give you the opportunity to find a literal closure. Anyway, the value of life lessons learned, you extrapolate that so that you can turn it around and say, look, how can I help you in what you're doing today? And it creates in me the ability to become fruitful. See, lots of people get stuck on their past.
Yeah.
They don't become fruitful because they're too busy looking behind. If you ever read the story in Genesis of Lot's wife, Lot is called out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and Lot's wife can only fix her eyes on the past.
Right.
And all she became was a bitter pillar of salt, useless to anybody. And so we get fixated on things. We try to change things we can't. So I'm trying to help people come to the precipice of that and make a choice. And the value of our coaching is always empowering choice. That's one thing that God has left you with. You have that responsibility to choose. And this is, in my life, I know I'm challenged by the Spirit of God, is that, this is yours. I'm empowering you, son, to be fruitful, to do these things. Here's an opportunity. He is not forcing me to reconcile.
Right.
So the idea of reconciling is there is a journey of healing, but sometimes it's like that accounting term. We just match it up, and we go, okay, I recognize it's there. I'm going to find some closure to it, and healing will come when I choose to come face to face with that.
Wow.
So then once that's done, then we move to West, which is appropriate risk-taking. We're not risk-taking because we're, blind.
Go west, young man.
Go west, young man. So the idea is risk-taking. I don't know, you're a creative person, you're a singer, songwriter, or artist, or whatever.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, no, back to you. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're a creative person, but have you ever been in a place where you can't create? You feel frustrated, and that's probably because you're dealing with things behind you, and all your energy is trying to fix this stuff behind you, or manage a mismanaged life. So therefore, you have no power and ability to start the new business that you've always wanted to. You feel very hamstrung because you can't go on those world tours because where do I find the money? Well, I'm too busy, doing this stuff. So we actually help people come to the place of readiness to take risk. Right? So taking risk isn't always a blind thing. It's not a blind step out over a cliff.
Perhaps it shouldn't be, right?
No, it should. Well, you want to do what they call in business due diligence.
Sure.
And there's something good about doing due diligence in life. You may have a great idea, but have you thought it through?
Right.
Anyway, the point of the compass is, the final wrap-up of this, is having my values in north set, my principles, my beliefs, and I'm there. It empowers me to choose better who I hang out with. Because now I'm aligning the character of people that I know or that I could experience and say, is this somebody I can spend time with? Right? So now that empowers this. Once I have great people around me, and they will hopefully empower me to take care of my junk, get rid of my baggage. They'll push or they'll help me, support me to deal with the South, to reconcile things that paralyze me and my potential progress and future. So then once I'm closing the door on myself, I'm now empowered to really take leaps of faith, leaps of risk. I'm energized for life rather than trying to say, how can I cope? How can I just kind of manage? And unfortunately, this is where a lot of people find themselves in restorative work. They just get stuck in that perpetual, I'll never get there. I'll never get there. And I'm the kind of guy that says, no, we can get there. We can shut the door. We can make choices that empower
Well,
us.
James, you did it again. I'm listening to you, enraptured. Honestly, I mean it with all. I love the passion that I'm witnessing, experiencing coming from you. What a great tandem for me to hold the pages of your book and to hear you say it. What a great idea. I'm here with author James Burgess, Beyond the Breakers. It's available on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca. James, if someone wanted to get a hold of you, is there a way for them to do that, or do you have an email address or a website or something?
Yeah, they can get a hold of me directly through email right now. I'm actually in the middle of rebranding my consulting company to the Endeavor Network. So our temporary email is Endeavor, the English spelt way, not the American, with an O-U-R, not O-R, EndeavorNetwork@gmail.com. or you can even just send me a text directly, and I'm happy to respond to any request.
Sure. Friends, if you want to reach James, even through the show, we'll make sure
Yeah.
all the information that you need is there. May God richly bless you. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you again next time.
Catch a new episode of New Every Day every Friday morning at neweveryday.tv. We're also on Roku, Kodi, Plex, YouTube, Google Play Music Podcasts, and Facebook. Or if you're in Southern California, tune in every Sunday morning at 6:30 on KBVB TV, Channel 33, television for the high desert.